My name is Rita Fassett, and I'm a member of a spiritual autobiography group here at UFRC named Inkwalk. Let me start by saying I have never thought myself to be a creative person, but I considered the notion that I do create a piece of writing each month, and it must come from somewhere. And perhaps my process could use some exploring. So here I am, daring to speak about getting to something, connecting with creativity without being a creative person. I believe that creativity has deep-seated roots in our earliest experiences. Our curiosities and wonderment can be encouraged or not. To me, creativity has a mandate that there be a type of vision present. Where there was nothing, you come up with something, or anything that was not there before. Well, one of my earliest memories of not being creative was when I was in 7th grade, and my father paid a 9th grade boy, the son of a friend of ours, to give me drum lessons. First, let me say that I don't know why we had a drum kit at all, or why it was set up in my parents' bedroom. Second, I had a massive crush on this young man, so I could not believe my luck in getting 30-minute lessons each week alone with the man of my dreams. Ask yourself, please, what was my father thinking? Anyway, each week for many weeks, I paid intense attention to my instructor. I found that, except for a drum roll, I actually could mimic what I was shown to do without too much effort. But then the day came when Jim put a tune on the radio and told me to play along with the music. I was paralyzed. I simply had no idea how to do that. I just couldn't get from here to there. And that ended my lessons. While my crush on Jim faded, the feeling of not being able to make anything out of what I learned did not. In the many years, and I mean many years, since those drum lessons, countless creative beings have graced my life. I have a loving envy of these artists and always find myself saying, how do you think of that? So here's a bit about my process in getting to something. We have a writing prompt each month with about 3 weeks to write our piece, which means I use 2 weeks and 6 days to noodle the prompt. And then I spend 2 intense hours writing with hardly any time for a rewrite. In preparing for today, I now conclude that it is in the noodling where my creativity lives. The prompt lives actively in my mind all day and often before I fall asleep. The questions I ask myself, and I explore my memories. Other times, it's just about noticing what's around me. Ideas and 2- and 3-word combinations seem to just randomly pop up. All just one big floating collage where the pieces continually shift. But I don't write any of it down. I am very entertained by what comes up just by being awake to the prompt. I would like to think my brain is very colorful and has beautiful things sprouting out of it in these moments. Occasionally, I will ask my family questions without revealing the prompt, just to see where it leads. Often, I'm led down an unexpected path, or sometimes it solidifies my footing. You might say that there is a procrastination in my process. I would not disagree. But there is something for me in waiting until the last minute. By the time I actually sit to write, the bits of fluff and stuff seem to take form, and even I am surprised by what sometimes comes through. This piece of unexplainable magic makes me intensely joyful because it fits my own definition of creativity. Truly, a something from nothing. But because the process is so absurd, I don't ever count on it. And mostly I stay in a suspended state of hope each month. There are many highly creative people in my family, artists of many sorts, and I can't do what they do. But in this one area, once a month, words are weaved together by invisible threads for me. I do get to experience a little something from nothing, and so maybe I'm just a teeny bit creative after all.
I'm Erin. I, like Rita, am also in a spiritual autobiography class, and that's how I was invited to come and speak about my creativity. I'm a photographer, and I've always thought of myself as a creative person. But with that comes a lot of struggle too. Just because you're creative doesn't mean that those ideas are good ideas. Capturing imagery is my profession, but it's more than that, and I don't expect that to change. Photography has been my insecurity, my paycheck, my bliss, my way of being an artist and not a groupie, my gateway into places I would have just been an observer. But with my camera, I was a participant. I was engaged. Early on, it could have been dance. Or better yet, boyfriends. Both ended up being a distraction. Having a camera was a sidekick, a constant conversation. I was never alone. Rewind to when my aunt got out of a toxic relationship and wanted to shed everything that reminded her of Steve. Lucky me, one of those items was a Canon film camera. I took it everywhere except swim practice. On weekends, I would set up tarps in my dad's garage using floodlights and lots of extension cords, ladders. In my mind, I was visualizing Irving Penn, his stunning celebrity photographs, his portraits. And when I got the film back, I saw two friends posing. Shama had an umbrella with a geisha face on in jeans, and Carolyn had a cowboy hat on with geometric pink eyes and a tube top in a makeshift construction site. What you visualize in your mind and what you actually see takes many sunsets to perfect. Creativity is freeing the mind of judgment, which is so important. Your ideas are so fleeting. You have so many good ideas, and yet not all of them will come to fruition. This can sometimes come in strange practice, saving coffee grounds to sculpt a Santa Claus, only to find the next morning flies have attacked your creation and you must toss it. In this moment, I was forced to let go, which in art is a great practice. I'm pretty good at letting go now. I feel the most free when I have an idea and I test it out. I feel the most free when I observe light in my studio. Fleeting concepts deserve my attention. Hello, light. Hello, rainbow. Hello, shadows. Sometimes I'm underwhelmed with my final pieces. It turns out that doesn't matter, because at some point it will have a new life, either in someone's house or in the trash. Both places I've been featured. I think creativity lies somewhere between your right and your left brain. It's a bridge for your thoughts, but both require grasping at some point, this bridge. I tend to curl up on the right side. I think creativity can be learned, takes practice, and lots of crazy ideas tried and failed. Is it scary? Yes. Am I worried of failing completely? Yes. But I'm also afraid of many more things that people can't guess, like sharks and being buried alive. But when it comes to photography, I ask myself why. It was that intentional tool my aunt gave me that gave me purpose. It helped me connect with others and create with others. But what always seems to linger about the creative fields is a nervousness that other fields don't seem to have, especially as a professional. Have you ever asked a dentist, are you afraid of becoming a dentist? How is that dental blockage going? But to be fair, I don't know any alcoholic or chain-smoking dentists. Artists kind of have a reputation of being mentally unstable. Think of all the creative minds that died young, people we constantly remember, people we're inspired by. Our gift can be a struggle. Creativity is a struggle, and it requires a desire to push through and move forward, to teach, to say hello. Say hello to that shadow, that light. Teasing that rhythm out can be tiring, but very rewarding with lots of effort. Go into the wild of creation. It can be beautiful. The ideas that pop up are important. They come from so many memories and places that you've been, things that you've learned. They mean something, even if they don't come to a physical product or something you can look at. Lately, I've been focusing my time on projects that involve the community, while also running and creating new ideas for my photography business. I've submitted a proposal to work with the women and men's jail in a project about rehabilitation with our community, using photography as a bridge. I just have a few quotes from Yoko Ono. I find her ridiculous and very inspiring. Each time we don't say what we want to say, we're dying. And I wanted to relate that to art, because in photography, my gift is not with words. My collaborations with others through photography, that is where I can say what I want to say. It's another one I really liked. We've been filled with great treasures for one purpose, to be spilled and shared. I add the shared part. Art is my life, and my life is art. And one more by Yoko Ono. Art is a way of survival. Thank you.